fluttered. And I saw briefly the girl I'd first met in the park, reading my own book, smiling, shy.
Ben? Jimmy, go after him. See he's all right.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
It got all mixed up in my head. The horror. Then and now. Ben? I thought if I looked back, I'd see him. Barlow? You mean Marston. Grinning at me. The rope around his neck. Ben, it's over. Yes. Jimmy. Jimmy, look at it.
Look at what?
The house. Can't you feel it? The evil, it's gone. It's just a house again.
After we left, Father Callahan sealed the house with holy water and pieces of the host.
What did you do with Susan's body?
Callahan and I turned it face down in the coffin and weighted it with stones. We threw it into the Royal River.
I just sat in the car.
No, you'd already done enough. Where's Callahan now?
He went with Mark. Mark's parents have to be told. Barlow threatened them in the letter.
Will they believe it all?
Mark thought not. He said his dad's a sensible man. If there's a problem, they'll ask his father to call you.
You did well, Jimmy. You too, Ben. Come here. Sit on the bed. There's no comfort for you, Ben. I know that. But Susan is at rest now.
Barlow played us for fools. We're like insects to him, scurrying around for his amusement.
No. That's far from the truth. He wanted to keep Susan. He wouldn't give up his undead, his children, just for a joke. Think, Ben. Think what you've achieved. Straker, the best servant he ever had, slain by a small boy. How that must have terrified him. And now you've driven him from his refuge, his chosen home, and sealed it. So if he goes there again, he'll die, and he knows that.
What does it matter? He got away.
Well, where did he sleep today? The trunk of a car, the cellar of one of his victims? Wherever it was, do you think he felt safe? Do you think he liked it?
Matt's right, Ben. Maybe we're not winning yet, but neither is he.
Now, tomorrow you hunt. Not just the great white shark, but all the little fish. The nights may be his, but in the daytime, you'll hound him until he takes fright and flees. Or until you drag him staked and screaming into the light.
Yes, that's good. But let's start tonight, not tomorrow, right now.
No, tonight we spent together. You and I and Jimmy and Father Callahan and Mark and his parents. Only madmen or saints would challenge Barlow in his mother night, and we neither. You shouldn't have split up. That was bad judgment. I'm worried. Especially about Mark and his parents. Jimmy, will you call them?
Yeah, I'll do it now.
I'm beginning to know him. I lie in this bed and try to outguess him, put myself in his place. He's lived for centuries. He's brilliant. But his ego has become bloated, so that it's puffed up and poisonous. He's filled with pride, and his thirst for revenge is overmastering. Something to be feared, but also to be used. I think he'll attack tonight.
I got through.
What's wrong, Jimmy? What happened?
Eli's dead. I think Barlow's got them.
Impossible.
I told you.
Well, Henry, dear, don't you think we should have...
June, wait. Now, Father Callahan, let's examine this delusion like reasonable men.
Well, that may not be possible, Mr. Petrie, but we can try. We came here because Barlow specifically threatened you and your wife.
So you say. Before we proceed, let me ask you something. Did you actually drive a stake through that poor girl's body this afternoon?
No, I didn't. Mr. Mears did.
And the corpse is still in the cellar?
No, we threw it in the river.
If that's true, you have involved my son in a serious crime. Are you aware of that?
Yes, I am.
That we had to, don't you see?
Mark, I have asked you to keep silent while I speak to Father Callahan. One more outburst and you'll leave the room.
Yes, Dad.
Mr. Petrie, if you'd call Matthew Burke.
I'm sure your accomplices will back you up, Father Callahan, but that hardly constitutes proof. May I see the letter left by this Barlow?
Dr. Cody took it.
Oh, well, darling, I'm sure Dr. Cody wouldn't be mixed up in anything untoward. He's our family doctor, Father. We all like him very much.
And Matthew Burke has an excellent reputation, as a teacher at least. So your story does have a certain disturbing credibility. But your explanation of these events clearly can't be true. We've got to get to the bottom of it. I'm going to call your people and talk with them. If that proves fruitful, perhaps we should all go to Mr. Burke's hospital room and discuss the matter further.
Good of you to be so understanding, Mr. Petrie.
What's the matter, dear?
Strange. It was fine half an hour ago.
He's here. God protect us.
Oh, don't be silly. In my experience, the Salem's Lot telephone service doesn't need vampires to disrupt it.
Henry!
For goodness sake, don't panic. It must be a power failure.
How could we have been so stupid?
We must go out there now.
No, for the sake of your lives and mine, you must not.
But Ben's right, Matt. They need help.
They're on their own. Whatever is happening at the Petries, by the time you get there, it'll be over.
We must do something.
If you go, you'll be playing into Barlow's hands. Think. He didn't need to cut the telephone line. He did it to tell us he's there. He's already split us in two. Now he's trying to divide us again. I'm alone and bedridden. Easy prey. Don't you see it?
I guess you're right.
Look, I'm not afraid for myself, believe me. Or even for you two. I'm afraid for Salem's Lot. Whatever happens tonight, we must be left to stop him tomorrow.
Yes. He's not going to get me until I paid him back for Susan.
Maybe they'll make it. I think he's underestimated Callahan. I know he's underestimated Mark. That kid is one cool customer.
It all happened so fast. One moment my dad was telling Father Callahan it was impossible. The next, the impossible was happening. Right there in the kitchen.
Can you talk about it, my son?
Yes, Father. The lights went. The windows blew. A shadow moved across the room. Father Callahan took the cross from around his neck and held it up. It was glowing with a sort of blue fire. I could see my dad, lit by that weird light. He looked dazed, like he still didn't believe it. I grabbed Mom's hand, tried to pull away, but it was too late. Barlow got them. Mom's head in one hand, Dad's in the other. I could see his face, long and white, almost handsome. The teeth, the red eyes. He was smiling.
I promised you this, Mom. Remember? For what you did to my servant.
Henry, do something, please. Speak to him.
Listen, whoever you are. We can talk about this. We can sit down.
Your parents first. So, tell me, young man, how does it feel to be an orphan?
You monster!
Oh, now you come to me. How convenient.
In the name of God,
No closer. No closer, Shaman, or I sever the boy's jugular before you can draw breath. Step back. Back.
Well, what now?
Oh, that depends. What will you give me for this miserable wretch? Oh, you have courage, boy. But you will scream. You will scream until your throat bursts.
stop that!
Should I? Should I reprieve the boy? Save him for another night?
Yes.
Then will you throw down your cross and face me on equal terms? Without charms and talismans? Your faith against mine?
Yes.
Do it.
I trust you to let him go. I sooner trust a rattlesnake.
Well, I trust you. Look.
Run, Mark! You killed my parents! Run!
Soon, little brother. Very soon. will... Mark, no! You dare spit on me?
Back! In the name of God, I'll do more than spit! I'll kill you!
Oh, what a servant he will make. Now, Shaman, I have fulfilled my part of the bargain. You fulfill yours. Lay down the cross.
I'm a priest.
A priest? Don't you have to believe to be a priest?
Stay back! I command it.
Look at the light. The oh so holy light. See how it gutters and dies.
I command it in the name of God!
Just like your faith.
Nowhere left to go, priest. Here, let me take that. You seem to find it burdensome. No. You thought I couldn't touch this, didn't you? The Holy Cross. You believed it would protect you. Oh, no. Your faith might have saved you, but your faith has just failed. And so this is only base metal.
God damn you!
Well, I doubt if he can. Not your God, anyway. If you had cast that cross away willingly, you might have beaten me. But you put your trust in the symbol, not what it stands for. You're a disappointment, priest. Oh, it's been so long since I had an opponent of any real worth. That boy makes 10 of you.
No!
The undead. There is no memory. You would welcome that now. But no. For you, there is a more fitting punishment.
No! Please!
Here, priest. Learn a true religion. Take my communion. Eat of my flesh. Drink of my blood.
At 10 that night, Jimmy and I were still sitting around Matt's bed out in the Cumberland Hospital, waiting. No one spoke much. Matt dozed fitfully, with his mouth open, sighing from time to time in his sleep. He looked very old. Then suddenly, there was shouting downstairs. Nurses ran past the door and we heard a strange, high keening, like an animal in pain.
Ben, he's coming! Him or his creatures. Get the door. Kill the lights. Have you got the crucifix? I've got it.
Ben, Jimmy, where are you?
Relax, man. Everything's under control.
What's going on?
We're not sure. There seems to be some trouble in the lobby.
Oh, God, I was afraid of this if Barlow sent one of his undead.
Ben!
Let me go!
Mark! Thank God you got away.
Wait, Mark, come here. Lift your chin. Show me your neck. Oh, thank God.
Boy, I've never been so glad to see anyone in my life.
Where's Father Callahan?
I don't know. I didn't wait. My mom and dad are both dead. Roland killed them. Then he grabbed me. He said he'd let me go if Father Callahan threw down his cross. I ran. But before I ran, I spat on Barlow. I spat on him. I'm gonna kill him.
How did you get here?
I ran through the woods. And then I hitched a ride. I can't remember who with. The radio's playing. I remember that.
Oh, you poor boy. You poor, brave boy. The commotion downstairs, all that shouting and screaming that was going on around the time Mark turned up. We found out later what it was all about. A woman walked into the lobby out of the night, wearing only slippers and a dirty nightgown. She seemed drugged or hypnotized. Her face was white as bone, her eyes dark, crazy. She asked for Matt's room. When an orderly challenged her, she pulled a gun. There was a struggle. Before she was subdued, the woman clawed the orderly's face with her nails. She died right there on the lobby floor. The woman was Ann Norton, Susan's mother. I don't know what happened to Father Callahan after that night. I heard rumors, but what he did, where he went, I don't really know. All I know for sure is that he was never seen again in Salem's lot.
No, Matt, you've got to sleep.
Jimmy's right, Matt. You don't look good.
My town is dying before my eyes, and you expect me to sleep?
Matt, if you want to be around for the finish, you've got to hold something back. I'm talking as your doctor, goddammit.
Later, Jimmy, please. Mark, we're in a desperate situation. I know you've just been through the most terrible ordeal. I can't promise things will get better. There's dreadful work to be done tomorrow.
I'm in this, Mr. Burke. As deep as anyone. I won't stop until I've got it.
Good boy.
Tomorrow, the three of you must go back to Mark's house to make steaks.
Right. How many?
300 at least. 500 would be better.
No, there can't be as many as that.
The undead are thirsty. You have to be prepared. You must go together. You daren't split up, even in daylight. It'll be like a scavenger hunt. You start at one end of town and work towards the other.
We'll never find them all, not even if we start at first light and work till dark.
You've got to try. With luck, people will believe you. Some might even help. So when dark comes again, much of Barlow's work will be undone.
I guess Father Callahan's out of it.
Yes, we have to assume he's lost to us. But we must press on regardless. You'll need to be cunning, all of you. Ready to lie. If you're locked up, it'll serve his purpose. And consider this. If any of us do live and triumph, it's quite possible we'll stand trial for murder.
Don't sugarcoat the pill, will you?
But we all know the most important job.
Kill Barlow.
Well, that's putting the cart before the horse. First, we have to find him. Mark, come here. Did you see anything tonight? Hear, smell, touch anything that might tell us where he is? Think carefully. You know how important this is.
No.
Think again. A leaf clinging to his coat. A burr in his pants cuff. Dirt on his shoes.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Christ almighty, is he seamless like an egg?
How about when he was holding you?
Wait a minute.
What have you got?
Chalk. Blue chalk. He had his arm around my neck. I could see his hand. He had long white fingers, and there were little smudges of blue chalk on him. Just little smears.
Blue chalk?
A school. It must be.
Not the high school. We only have yellow and white. I should know.
The art department?
They use ink and paint, not chalk. Besides, the school's all glass. Where would he hide? Mark, are you sure?
Chalk? Yeah, I can see it.
I bet the elementary school uses colored chalk.
Well, it's like the high school. Lots of windows to let in the sun. He'd hate that. He needs an old building. Dark, dingy.
Like the Brook Street School.
Could be.
What's the Brock Street School?
An old timber frame building put up about the same time as the Marston House. There was a big fuss about it years back. People said it was a fire hazard.
So it's not used?
Only the ground floor. There are 2 other stories in a basement with all the windows boarded up.
That's it. It must be.
Sounds good to me.
Well, I'm not convinced. It's too obvious.
All right, that's enough for tonight. 2 of these with water. That'll help you sleep.
Later, Jimmy. There's still a lot of work.
Now, Matt.
He's right, Matt. We can't risk losing you. You're too important.
Here, Mr. Burke. To help you take the pills.
Ganging up on me, huh? Okay, you win.
I'm worried about him, Ben.
I thought the attack was mild. Hardly a heart attack at all.
It was, but the next one won't be. It'll be the big one. This business will kill him if it doesn't end soon.
That night, we slept in the hospital in Matt's room. Matt lay propped up on pillows, sedated. Jimmy and I tossed and turned in the uncomfortable chairs. Mark curled up on the floor and slept like a baby. The morning seemed to come very soon.
Ben. Ben. The sun's up. It's time to get going. Jimmy, wake up.
Where am I?
The hospital.
Mark, sorry. Dream. Daylight, thank God. Matt's still asleep.
Yeah. He's an old man all of a sudden.
His pulse is steady, color's good. I'd say he's better than he was last night. All right, we don't need to wake him now, do we?
No. We'll just tiptoe out.
Should we leave him here alone?
We have to. If we stay here all day, we're playing into Barlow's hands. We must trust Matt's ingenuity. Come on.
Where to first? Brock Street School.
No. Too many people. That'll have to wait till this afternoon. Mark's house first, to make stakes.
And then?
We use them. Stake as many as we can. But you do realize, don't you? Unless we find Barlow, this is all a waste of time. If it, escapes us today, we're finished.
You have been listening to episode 6 of Salem's Lot by Stephen King, with Stuart Milligan as Ben Mears, Teresa Gallagher as Susan Norton, and Danny Canaber as Mark Petrie. Doug Bradley played Barlow, Gavin Muir, Matt Burke, Kerry Shale, Jimmy Cody, Don Fellows, Parkins Gillespie, Nigel Anthony, Father Callahan, Peter Yap, Father Graffon, George Parsons, Nolly Gardner, Lorelei King, June Petrie, and Vincent Marzello, Henry Petrie. Salem's Lot is dramatized in 7 episodes by Gregory Evans, with music composed by Elizabeth. Stephen King's Salem's Lot. Dramatized in 7 episodes by Gregory Evans. Episode 7.
So there was Mark, Jimmy, and me, heading towards the lot in Jimmy's old Buick. As we left the turnpike, I saw the familiar sign. Route 12, Jerusalem's Lot. This was the way I'd driven Susan home after our first date. I'm sorry, Father.
Take your time, my son.
I was thinking about what Mark had told us the night before. About the blue chalk on Barlow's fingers. It was going round in my mind, fighting the fear and the dread and the grief. Blue chalk. Blue chalk.
It's gone bad. The whole place. Christ, you can almost smell it.
Yeah. A whiff of tombs.
I've never seen it so quiet.
Hey, look there. Barlow and Straker Antiques.
Closed until further notice.
Thanks to you.
Jimmy, pull up. Blue chalk. Barlow cleared customs. Customs officials check boxes through with chalk. Maybe he's holed up inside.
Stink. Could have been shut up for centuries.
I found him! Inside this crate! The hammer, quick! Steve! I can see his hand! Careful, Ben, you'll cut yourself! Mark, the stake! I'll pound it into him like I did into Susan! I'll...
Mike Ryerson.
Damn, Barlow!
Well, what now? Should we...
No, leave him! We can come back. Let's get to Mark's house.
I wonder if Father Callahan's still in there.
I'll soon find out.
I can't go in. I'll wait in the car. Mom and Dad, cover them up, will ya?
Sure. Of course, Mark.
It's better this way. My dad would have made a very good vampire. Maybe as good as Barlow in time.
Try not to think too much.
There are ash stove lengths in the woodpile. You can use my dad's lathe down in the basement.
That's 19.
Ben, wait. Whew. This isn't gonna work.
What else can we do?
You want to quit, Jimmy? Is that what you want?
No. But Ben, it won't just be today. It could be weeks before we get them all. If we ever do. Can you stand that? Can you stand doing what you did to Susan 1,000 times? Pulling them out of their stinking bolt holes, screaming and struggling, pounding in the stake. Can you keep that up without going crazy?
I don't know.
What about Mark? He'll be ready for the nuthatch. And Matt, he'll be dead. I guarantee it.
So what the hell should we do?
God knows. We have to think.
Think. I'm trying not to think.
Maybe you should start.
I can't. I take it as it comes. If you've got a better way.
Hey, Ben.
I'm sorry.
We can do it, Ben. I believe that, but we must be scientific. Listen, now you're production, right?
Right.
You stay here, turn out the stakes. Mark and me, we're research. We find them. We mark the locations. With this, we spray a cross on the door. Yeah. Then tomorrow we go back with the stakes together.
Well, won't they see the marks and move?
No, I don't think so. They're pretty dumb.
Okay, get going. Come back around 3. By then, we can get into the school. Jimmy?
What's the matter? Something came to me then. Watching you. Bent over like that, holding the length of wood under that light.
Something to do with the blue chalk?
I don't know. Whatever it was, it's gone. The McDougalls. Roy, his wife Sandy, and their 8-year-old son. Roy works in Gates Falls, but has his pickup still in the driveway. Okay. Hammer.
The hair somewhere. Smell it?
Yeah, like the Marston house. Not as strong.
Where?
We need somewhere dark. These houses don't have cellars, but there's a crawl space under the stairs. Here.
Oh, smells like you found it.
A flashlight. There.
All laid out, side by side.
Oh, God. A little boy, too. Can we do that to a kid? Come on, I'll mark the door. We'll try somewhere else.
Jimmy, let's pull one of them out.
What? Why?
Maybe the daylight will kill him. Then we won't have to come back with the stakes.
Good idea. Which one?
Not the kid. The man.
Right. A foot each. 1, 2, 3.
His skin!
Jesus, it's steaming!
He touched me!
Clap him!
Please, shut it! Please!
Good. Let's get out of here.
Can I wash first? I feel dirty. Poor kid. All his toys are here.
It's right next door.
He's got a neat
Dave
computer.
Evans is
Amazing.
Dave works in
Oh,
Cumberland.
Toby, a miniature
for a few
pool
days.
table.
Mark, what did you say?
I said he's got a TV in his room.
No, after that.
And a pool table.
Blue chalk. Pool, that's it. Bolo's hiding in a pool hall.
You ever heard of Mumson?
No, Mr. Burke. Roll over, please.
Mumson, Vermont. Just another little New England town like the lot. Had a population of 312 in the 1920 census.
Other way.
By 1923, everyone had vanished. Oh, the buildings were intact. In one house, a table was laid for supper, but no people. It caused quite a stir. You finished yet?
Almost. Just the top sheets. There. Now, I want you to sleep.
Well, would you check to see if there's a mess? Nurse! Nurse!
Oh, God, no. Roy, 12 now. Now, take it easy, Mr. Burke. Try to breathe.
What is it?
Cardiac arrest. Get an ECV. Quickly.
There is no pool hall in Salem's Lot. Gates Falls is the closest, but Barlow is here.
People have pool tables in their houses.
Yes. I'm almost there, Mark. Keep talking. Pool tables.
They'd keep it in the games room. Maybe the basement.
No.
For a full-size table, it'll have to be a big house.
I've got it. I know where Barlow's hiding. He's in the basement of Eva Miller's boarding house.
Are you sure?
Yes, Eva's got a pool table. Belonged to her husband. She put it down in the cellar last year. It must be there.
Let's get him.
Wait, let's call first. Come on.
Maybe they're all out.
No, there must be about a dozen roomers at Eva's. Mostly old men, retired. There's always someone there. Let's go.
What about Ben?
The line's out at your house, so we can't call him. If we go to Eva's now, there'll be plenty of daylight left. If we're wrong, and if we're right, we'll get Ben. He'll want to be in it to kill. It's perfect. Holding up here in the local boarding house, surrounded by his children. Smell it.
Like the Marston house.
Mark, are you up to this?
Yeah. Where's the cellar?
Here. I went down it once. One of the old guys fell on the steps and broke his leg. It's a big one. Deep. Barlow's here. No doubt about it.
Jimmy, let's get Ben.
We will. I just want to see Barlow first. Oh, damn, no light.
That figures.
Look in the kitchen. Eva must have a flashlight. I'm going down.
Jimmy, wait.
There's a grave down here.
Jimmy, I found the flashlight.
Don't move. Don't move. I lost all track of time in Peter's basement. When I checked my watch, I was shocked to see it was already nearly 5. I shut off the lathe, went upstairs. The phone was out, and I had no keys to the cars parked in the drive. So I set off at a fast walk towards the Brock Street School, keeping my eyes peeled for Jimmy's Buick. It soon came into view, weaving drunkenly across the road, moving in jerks and spasms. I waved, and it pulled over, bounced off the curb, came to a stop.
Oh, Ben, thank God.
Mark? What's wrong? Why are you driving? Where's Jimmy?
Jimmy's dead.
Ted!
Barlow's in Mrs. Miller's basement.
What?
With Jimmy. I went to help him. Couldn't get out. I thought I was trapped there. Until dark. Until...
Mark, explain. I don't understand.
Jimmy figured it out. Blue chalk. Pool. There's a pool table in Mrs. Miller's basement.
Of course.
We drove over. I looked for a flashlight. Jimmy went down. He fell. I'd have gone after him, but he called out to warn me.
Warned you of what?
Barlow had fixed the stairs. Sawing them off after the second step. It was dark. Jimmy just didn't see. There were knives below. All the knives in the kitchen. Fixed. Pointing up.
Oh, God. You're certain he's dead?
Yeah.
We better call Matt. Then Dr. Parkins Gillespie. Maybe he'll help. We've got to finish Barlow before dark.
Cumberland Hospital, Seton Ward. How can I help you?
Matthew Burke, please. Room 12.
Who is this?
Ben Mears. Is Mr. Burke all right?
Are you a relative?
No, a close friend. Is he?
Mr. Burke died this afternoon, Mr. Mears. Heart failure. If you want to hold on, I'll see if Dr. Cody's coming in.
Matt's dead?
How'd you know?
I saw your face.
We found Parkins Gillespie on the steps of the municipal building, smoking and gazing at the sky. He looked sad and old. Around his neck, he wore a crucifix, a St. Christopher medal, and a peace sign.
I seen you trucking back and forth. Looks like the kid was driving by himself that last time.
I was.
Well, you want to take care, son.
Constable Gillespie, I've come to tell you what's going on in this town.
I don't want to hear it.
What?
Nolly didn't show up today. I can't say I'm surprised. Oh. These darn things will be the death of me.
The man who took the Marston house, Barlow. He's in Eva Miller's basement.
Is that so? Vampire, ain't he? Like in the movies? Well, I'm leaving. I'm gonna stay with my sister in Kittery. I figure that's far enough to be safe.
Cutlass, listen. This town is still alive and you're running out.
It ain't alive. That's why he came here. It's dead like him. Has been for years. The whole country's going the same way. You go to a drive-in, you see more blood in one night than I saw in all my tours in Nam. Folks here, they probably like being vampires. But not me, I'm getting out. You ought to do the same. This town will go on without us for a while. Then it won't matter.
It was after 6 when we pulled up at Mark's house. I went to the basement and chose the best of the steaks. Mark looked in Father Callahan's old sedan and found the bottle of holy water the priest had taken from the font. Then Eva's again. As I turned into the driveway, the sun hung blood red over the western pines. Up in my room, I could see my typewriter on the table by the window, and beside it, the typed pages of my novel, held down by the glass globe paperweight I had taken for a dare from the Marsden house all those years ago. We crossed the porch, where Susan and I had first kissed. The kitchen door was open, as Mark had left it.
Ben, I can't. I just can't.
Come on, Mark. Come on. It's gotta be both of us.
No.
Mark.
No, I've done enough.
You and me, we're all that's left. Susan, Jimmy, Matt, your mom and dad.
And now us?
Where's the hammer?
Jimmy had it. The flashlight, too.
Okay. Come on.
Careful. I tried to move the knives, but I might have missed some.
Oh, I got the flashlight. Still works. Oh, Jimmy.
I'm sorry. I can't move.
No, it's okay.
He had the revolver in his pocket.
Here, catch. There's the hammer. Now, Barlow.
But where?
I can feel him. But where's he hiding?
Behind that dresser?
No, too small.
He must be there. It's the only place.
Let's look.
Help me tip it. You got a grip? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Now!
There's the door.
He's in there. I can smell it. Locked. Give me the hammer.
Come on, Ben, come on!
Don't believe it. Beaten by a $5 padlock.
It's 7:15. When sunset?
5 of.
We'll never do it.
Have you got that bottle of holy water?
Here.
Pour it on my hands. More. The hammer, too.
It's glowing like blue fire.
Feels good.
There's a whole other room through there. There, the coffin. Sees Chris?
Oh my God. Mark, look around.
His children. And guardians.
Eva. Weasel Craig. Grover Merrill. That's Mr. Milligan from the second floor back. Everyone. I live with these people.
Come on, Ben, there's no time. It must be almost dusk. Here's the steak. Only with his locks and seals.
Doesn't matter. I can feel the power in me now. At last, things are running our way.
Be quick, please.
Barlow. But he's so young. I thought...
He's beautiful.
Mark, go look at his eyes.
You would harm the master?
I'll kill you. Mark, give me the gun. Sorry, kid. Look at me. No, I won't. I've come to destroy you. Look at me, Scribbler. Me, who you would slay with your miserable little stick. I write in human lives. Blood is my ink. Look upon me and despair. Hammer, where's the hammer?
Ben, here!
Too late. Thanks, kid. You are mine. Never. No! Let me be. Let me be. This is for Jimmy. Matt. Father Callahan. The Nortons. The Petries. This is for Susan. It took 2 seconds. Less. But I watched as if time had stopped. Barlow's skin blistered like old paint. His eyes filmed white and fell in. His hair became a drift of feathers. Inside the dark suit, his flesh shriveled until there were only bones clicking and clenching. Dust puffed through the fibers of the shirt. Barlow's skull whipped from side to side on the satin pillow, his jawbones stretched in a scream with no vocal cords to power it. The skull caved in. And at last, the clothes settled flat, like dirty laundry.
Ben, look out!
Mark! The holy water! Quick! Come on! It's okay. They can't touch us. I'll be back! I'll be back for all of you! When we got outside, Mark fainted. I picked him up and carried him to Jimmy's Buick. As we pulled away, I saw them. They were there in the streets. The walking dead. I put my foot down and drove out of Salem's lot. That night, we stayed at a motel across the state line. I signed the register. Ben Cody. Anne's son.
And then you came south, here to Mexico.
No, not right away, Father. I had some unfinished business. The next day at dawn, I left Mark in the motel room and drove back.
Madre mia, why?
I went to Eva's first, up to my room. It was just as I'd left it. The bed unmade, typewriter on the table, the pages of my novel beside it, held down by the glass paperweight. I burned the book.
You never told me that, Ben.
Didn't I? I guess it didn't seem important. I dropped it into the wastepaper basket and let the flames devour it. Then I picked up the paperweight, shook it, and watched slow flurries of snow hide the tiny house. I tossed it into a corner and heard it shatter. Going down to the cellar for Jimmy's body was the hardest trip of all. Somehow I got him up, bundled in Eva's drapes, and into the trunk of the car. Next, I went to Mark's house for his parents.
You did well, my son. That was an act of charity and courage.
It seemed like an act of madness at the time, but I had to. It took me the rest of the morning and half the afternoon to dig a grave out by Taggart Stream. By the time I'd laid the 3 bodies into it and filled it, the light was draining from the sky. I was sweating,
not only from work. I drove back along Jointer, past the empty buildings, the little park where I'd first met Susan, and at last past the sign that reads, "You are now leaving Jerusalem's lot. A nice little town. Come again." I drove back to Mark and my life.
Oh, my children, what horrors you have seen.
You believe now, Father?
Yes, Senor Mears, how can I not? What now? Will you stay in Mexico?
No. We've talked about it.
We're going back.
To the United States?
To Jerusalem's lot.
WJAB, non-stop music and news over the whole of the South Main area. Let me remind all you solid citizens that the main fire index still stands at 5.
You up to this?
5.
Jimmy asked me that
Second
question
highest
once.
reading ever. This hot
Ben,
Indian
I'm
summer
up to it.
continues with skies still dry in southern Maine. No rain since early September and none on
Look.
the way. So drivers,
12.
rush those smokes.
Jerusalem's lot.
Touched lightly of the eyes of lucid joy.
Look, the Marsden house. Malevolent as ever. Father Callahan's wafer will have washed away by now. It's theirs again. A shrine, perhaps. A dark lighthouse. It's like an old coat. Grown a little tight, but it still fits.
What does?
The fear. God, it's bad, isn't it?
Not as bad as the memories.
Looks like no one's lived here for 1,000 years. Mark?
They're in there, Ben. Right now. In all those
take it easy,
houses.
take it easy.
In closets and cellars. Hiding.
We'll take the Burns Road out to Harmony Hill. We faced the worst, Mark. It's behind us now.
Why here?
This is where the Great Fire started back in 61. The wind was blowing from the west.
Just like it is now.
You think a guy got careless with a cigarette? One little cigarette.
Can I light it for you?
Sure. Thanks. They have their places, but they could lose them. A lot of them could be killed or destroyed. It's a better word. But not all. Understand?
Yeah.
They're not bright. If they lose their bolt holes, they'll hide badly next time. 2 people could do well. Maybe it could be all finished by the time the first snow flies. Maybe it'll never be finished. No guarantees. But without something to drive them out, there'd be no chance at all.
Yeah.
It'll be ugly, dangerous.
I know that.
They say fire purifies. Purification should count for something. Don't you think?
Yeah.
We ought to go back. These things will be the death of me. Tonight they'll be on the run. And tomorrow,
You and me.
You have been listening to Episode 7 of Salem's Lot by Stephen King, with Stuart Milligan as Ben Mears and Danny Canaber as Mark Petrie. Doug Bradley played Barlow, Kerry Shale, Jimmy Cody, Don Fellows, Parkins Gillespie, Gavin Muir, Matt Burke, Peter Yapp, Father Grathon, Peter Whitman, Weasel